We're told to stop overthinking, but psychology says that advice misses something important. The psychology of people who are deep thinkers isn't about weakness, dysfunction, or overanalysis. Their mind is designed to explore, reflect, and connect ideas beneath the surface of everyday life. And once you see this clearly, many things you've questioned about yourself start to make sense. So if this feels personal, like and subscribe, and let's break it down. 1. They experience the world through depth rather than speed. Why does everything seem to linger for you, while others move on so quickly? You don't skim life, you absorb it. Thoughts land with emotional weight. Silence feels full, and small details matter more than they should. That depth can feel heavy, even overwhelming, which makes you wonder why your mind never rushes past anything. 2. They reflect constantly due to intellectual overexcitability. Psychology suggests your mind isn't restless. It's highly responsive. Even in quiet moments, your thoughts keep moving, searching for patterns and meaning. Stillness doesn't shut your mind down. It turns it inward. And once reflection becomes your default, silence stops being empty and starts feeling crowded. 3. They seek psychological closure through rumination. Have you noticed how conversations replay long after they're over? You revisit tone, pauses, and what wasn't said, not because you want to suffer, but because your mind wants resolution. Surface answers never satisfy you, and the longer clarity stays out of reach, the more your thoughts keep circling. 4. They experience metacognition that increases doubt and sensitivity. The same awareness that helps you understand yourself also makes you question yourself. You don't just think. You think about your thinking. That creates insight, but it also opens the door to doubt and emotional intensity. When your mind can imagine every outcome, it feels everything more deeply. 5. They perceive emotional signals others miss. You often sense tension before anyone names it. Subtle shifts in energy, unspoken feelings, emotional undercurrents, they stand out to you. This sensitivity isn't indifference. It's care taken to a deeper level. But when emotions feel too loud, pulling back can seem safer than staying close. 6. They feel lonely while seeking meaningful connection. Being around people doesn't always ease the feeling of distance. Small talk feels thin, and conversations that skim the surface leave you unsatisfied. You crave depth, honesty, and real presence. And when that kind of connection is rare, loneliness can appear even in crowded rooms. 7. They listen deeply and recognize hidden patterns. When you listen, you hear more than words. Pauses, hesitations, and unfinished thoughts register just as clearly. You connect emotional dots others overlook, responding thoughtfully rather than reactively. This quiet attentiveness often goes unnoticed, yet it shapes how you understand people long before they speak plainly. 8. They think creatively through imagination and exploration. You don't force ideas to behave. Your mind wanders, plays, and experiments, often landing somewhere unexpected. Thoughts unfold like sketches rather than plans, guided by curiosity instead of efficiency. This unstructured thinking isn't distraction. It's how new meaning forms before it has words. 9. They think in spirals rather than straight lines. Have you noticed how one thought pulls you into another, then another, until everything feels connected? You don't think in straight paths. You loop, revisit, and deepen ideas over time. Meaning reveals itself gradually, and each return adds something new you couldn't see before. 10. They experience time more slowly and vividly. Moments don't rush past you. They stretch because you process details deeply. Time feels fuller, heavier, and more alive. Memories stay sharp. Silence feels active, and stillness carries texture. It's not that you're slow, it's that you're taking in more of what's there. 11. They experience mental fatigue from constant thought. Even when your body rests, your mind often doesn't. Thoughts loop, revisit, and search for answers that never feel complete. This mental motion can be exhausting, especially when closure stays just out of reach. And over time, that quiet strain starts to make itself felt. 12. They become emotionally exhausted from deep processing. Because you're always mapping emotions, yours and everyone else's, your inner world rarely powers down. This awareness sharpens intuition, but it also drains energy. Even joy takes time to settle. When everything is felt fully, emotional recovery becomes just as important as understanding. 13. They regulate emotions through creative expression. That's why expression matters so much to you. Writing, music, or creating gives your thoughts somewhere to go. When ideas leave your head and take form, the intensity softens. It's not about talent, it's about translation, turning inner noise into something you can breathe with. 14. They experience emotional richness in subtle moments. You notice what others overlook. A small sound, a fleeting expression, a quiet detail can move you deeply. Joy, humor, and beauty arrive in subtle ways. This sensitivity adds texture to everyday life, even as it prepares you to see complexity where others see simplicity. 15. They perceive life through complexity and paradox. You rarely see things as purely good or bad. Beauty often comes mixed with sadness, and joy can sit beside grief without canceling it out. This layered perception can make simple happiness harder to hold, but it also allows you to understand life as it really is, not as a simplified version. 16s, they engage a strong inner narrative during silence. Silence doesn't quiet your mind, it activates it. When nothing is happening outside, your inner world comes alive with stories, reflections, and imagined possibilities. Solitude feels mentally rich rather than empty. And over time, this inner dialogue becomes a familiar place you return to for grounding. 17. They are often misinterpreted by others. From the outside, your quietness can look like distance. People may assume you're cold, uninterested, or detached when you're actually processing more than you can easily express. Your thoughts don't fit neatly into small talk. And in a fast world, depth is often mistaken for absence. 18. They build resilience through deep reflection. When pain shows up, you don't rush past it. You sit with it, examine it, and slowly make sense of it. This kind of reflection doesn't weaken you. It strengthens you over time. By understanding your emotions instead of avoiding them, you develop a quiet, lasting resilience. 19. They find meaning through wonder rather than certainty. You've learned that answers are often temporary. Instead of chasing certainty, you stay curious. Meaning comes from exploring questions, not closing them. This openness allows you to grow without needing everything to be resolved. And that sense of wonder keeps your inner world expansive rather than rigid. 20 throw, they live with restlessness due to their depth. Even when life looks calm, something inside you keeps searching. You long for meaning, connection, and depth in a world that often moves too fast to notice those things. That restlessness isn't dissatisfaction, it's awareness, and learning to live with it becomes part of who you are. The way you think has always made sense, even when no one explained it to you. Your depth is the reason you feel life so vividly, not the reason you struggle with it. And once you see that clearly, you can stop apologizing for who you are. If this connected with you, feel free to like and subscribe so we can keep exploring these ideas. And coming up next, we look at 9 weird traits that may reveal just how intelligent your mind really is.